With America's barrage of cruise missiles and smart bombs just weeks away, I've come to Baghdad to assess how the city and its people are preparing for war.
ما نخاف احنا ما نهتز.
ان شاء الله احنا نكون راس مرفوع وسيد رئيس راس مرفوع ان شاء الله.
Normally, journalists working in Iraq are strictly controlled by government minders, and you won't hear a word against Saddam Hussein.
شو رايك بالتهديدات اللي هسه تصير؟
والله ان شاء الله منتصرين احنا بعون الله. الله حفظ الله سيد الرئيس حفظه الله ورعاه ان شاء الله.
But although there's an element of orchestrated propaganda, my access seems surprisingly open. This is Samir, my minder from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who seems much more tolerant than the normal minders from the Ministry of Information. He takes me to meet Layla Hassan. She is a 39-year-old student and mother of a 15-year-old boy, Amu. She lives in a middle-class suburb of Baghdad.
Not all of my dreams have been fulfilled. Maybe because the hard conditions we faced in these long years. But I try to do my best to not to waste my time.
Like most of the Iraqis that I met, she seems resigned to another war, but scared about the impact, as she explains in a more private interview on the Tigris River.
Maybe I will be very nervous because I will remember the first time, and this is the second time. We have patience to be resistant, but how much we are human, how much we can go in this way. We face too much. Yes, we face too much. I see we don't deserve all what happened to us. We didn't do anything to make America attack us for the second time.
To prepare for the looming attack, the Food for Oil program that Saddam Hussein has used to feed every citizen has been extended. 6 months advance rations have been given out to allow families to survive the war.
يعني حياتنا احنا مهددين، العراقيين عامة أطفالنا احنا مهددين.
Samir Younan and his family have stored their 6-month rations and are anxiously waiting for the war. Samir is a labourer and lives with his extended family of 14 in this 2-bedroom flat. He fears most for his children and can't understand the American aggression.
يعني هم ببلادهم إذا قامت عاصفة يعني ثلجية وش اسمه ما راح يقلقون على أطفالهم، فإحنا كيف عاصفة قنابل مو صحيح؟ يعني دمار، فما نقلق على أطفالنا على مستقبل حياتنا.
He's angry that the years of sanctions have already damaged his children's education.
بأطفالكم أنتم اللي يتعلمون مثلاً مو هم صغار، يعني هم أطفال يمكن يعرفوا الإنترنت ويعرفوا الكمبيوتر، وهذه كلها نتيجتها يعني منعتها علينا الولايات المتحدة، لأنه خوفها من الإنسان والطفل العراقي بالدرجة الأساس. يعني تخاف من تعلم الإنسان العراقي أن يوصل إلى مرحلة لأنه يمكن يأثر عليها ويأثر على إسرائيل، اللي هي يعني هدفها هسه تدمير الإنسان العراقي وتدمير الطفل العراقي بالدرجة الأساس.
His wife Salma seems worn down by the effect of the sanctions and the current climate of fear.
الكهرباء تنقطع، يعني الماء ينقطع، المواصلات والخوف، أهم شيء الخوف ده يعني الخوف يلزم الإنسان بحيث كل شيء يعني ما يقدر يسوي.
Iraqis have lived with war for the last 20 years. At the monument to the martyrs, the name of every soldier killed in the Iran-Iraq war is inscribed on the walls. The scars of war have touched almost every family, including Mohammed's, our driver.
كان عمري 3 سنوات واستشهد أبوي.
زين تتوقع هواي كانوا شهداء أكو بهاي المعركة؟
شهداء يعني يعني ما ينحسبون.
زين أنت شاركت في معركة؟
أنا شاركت بمعركة أم المعارك عام 98.
For the residents of Baghdad, the enduring symbol of the last Gulf War is the al-Amariyah shelter, where the so-called smart bombs penetrated the roof and incinerated the 408 civilians cowering inside. This experience will have devastating consequences for the people of Baghdad because, according to Layla, they now refuse to use bunkers.
They stopped going to any shelter. They're afraid. They said that maybe America will come again and will hit another shelter.
At a government-sponsored peace conference in Baghdad, I found the only woman in Saddam Hussein's cabinet. Dr. Huda is the Minister for Sport and Youth.
Do you feel personally prepared for what may happen?
Yes, of course, definitely. As every Iraqi man and woman are. We seek peaceful solution for the suspended problems, but we are fully prepared to face whatever will come, and we are fully prepared to defend our country, our territory against any aggression.
That aggression this time comes with the promise of a leader imposed by America after Saddam is removed. I asked Dr. Huda if she was prepared to accept this.
Let me ask you the question, would the Australian accept American government? Would the Canadian or the British or the Italian accept American government? Would the Indian accept American government?
I think we love to, or we like to live in a country whose governor, we choose him, and we put him in his chair, not imposed from outside. Yes, this is, as I think, the liberty.
For the moment, the people of Iraq are aware that a devastating war is about to descend on them. Even so, everywhere we went, groups of young children would be paraded to push the official message of peace against American aggression. But Dr. Huda warns that if war comes, it won't benefit the West in the long term.
Not by invasion. Even if the huge amount of forces, even if they can achieve some success, but even that is doubtful. But let's assume that they achieve some limited success on the ground, or they occupy oil or what have you. What will happen? It will accumulate mountains and mountains of hatred toward the West.
10 سنوات اللوحة رسمتها شنو يعني؟ هاي مظهر من مظاهر العدوان الأمريكي على قطرنا، هذا أحد الجسور اللي قصفتها أمريكا في أن جفوها.
Australian people do not deserve to be hated that much because their government or their country supported such invasion. But such hatred around the world will be accumulated. You cannot avoid it.
After 30 years under a brutal dictator, it's clearly hard for the people of Baghdad to speak freely. But they do seem proud of their history and their independence. And while Iraqis prepare for an unwinnable war, they may be less than prepared to accept Americans as their liberators.